Hello everyone, we're back with another vlog. It is actually the day before we go to Canada, so hopefully you guys can follow me along as we get ready to do that. Today, just a bunch of errands, returning some stuff at Nike, ooh, hot. Today I am vlogging back on the ADD, so just wanted to give it a go, just because the Sony a7 III was so much more expensive, and I was just kind of afraid walking around with that all the time, and I didn't want to hurt it. So I'm going to do most of the at-home videos with the Sony a7 III and kind of walk around with the ADD, also so that the ADD gets more use, because it was just kind of sitting there for a while because of my excitement for the Sony. But the ADD is really awesome, so really I'm just kind of using both. So we're gonna try that out. I don't know if I could take both the ADD and the Sony a7 III when we travel, but you know, we'll probably give this a go on an everyday basis. So yeah, I mean, the tracking is pretty great, moving around, and I really have this wide field of view for a pretty cheap price. A 10 to 18, you just can't beat it. You know, trying to replicate this similar setup on the Sony is just so expensive. So trying to get that 1635 f4 is just wow. I mean, I actually did borrow it to shoot for a wedding and for travel, so I'll show you guys that in a bit. We still have a bunch of reviews for a bunch of lenses, so I want to get to that as well. But other than that, let's head over to Nike. Alright, we're back at Nike. We're gonna go return this sucker. But yeah, just really great news is just coming in with the mortgage business and everything. But we're gonna see how this works. We'll see you inside. Hopefully I don't buy more stuff. Alright, back in the car. Gonna go get a little snack. I juice it up or something, but I returned all the Nike gear without buying anything. That's amazing. Anyway, I wanted to give you guys an update of what happened this weekend. So cool. So I started my first gig as a third shooter for a company that I'm contracted for, and it was really great. I was the third shooter, so it was a really big event. There was 3 photographers and 3 videographers, and yeah, just learning from, you know, experts who've been doing it a long time is just huge, because there are just little nuances that I wasn't thinking about, and obviously the equipment's amazing, but the theories are still there. So after I get juiced up, I'm gonna go back to the house and maybe I could draw it up, and then you could see kind of the setup for what a wedding ceremony setup could be like with 3 people, on how we did it, and some of the things we did for the reception possibly. So. And we're back. We're back here at the house, and what I wanted to discuss was yesterday I did my one of my first weddings for this new company that I'm contracted for, and just some of the things that I learned, most specifically the setup for a wedding ceremony and where the shooters are and how that goes. So let me discuss to you, show you what we did yesterday and see if that'll help you out. But it helped me out a lot because we're shooting a wedding on the 28th, and we're definitely going to employ some of these things that we learned. So let's check it out. Okay, so here's pretty much our basic setup. We're gonna take the groom here. So we're gonna start with the setup. We had a 4-camera setup, so I will be number 3. So we're gonna put number 2 right here, right at the aisle. I'm gonna be number 3 right here, right at the edge. And then he actually set up a camera back here. And he is actually just over there. Yeah. So number 1 shooter is on a gimbal. This is on a tripod facing out this way, probably a wide angle. This is going to be a wide, you know, just getting a guarantee of the whole, you know, of the whole event there. It's probably 24 to 70. Just so he could remain flexible. So if he needs to punch in and just get one of the couple, he has the ability to do that. But 24 is wide enough to where he can get this whole front part and like the VIPs in the front here. And, you know, the camera 1 or video 1's job is just to get really nice shots following up and down the aisle here and there. Just getting different angles that we really want. And number 2 is when the processional happens, it's pretty much going to track everyone as they come down and also track the bride as they come down. So let's say we're going to start with the number 1 shooter on this side and the groom's here. So the groom's going to come down, and as the groom comes down, number 1's just going to follow the groom. And as the 1 follows the groom, he'll come out, and number 2 will be tracking the groom till he goes all the way up here, ceremony. And as the groom goes up, me as number 3 will just be tracking as this groom comes all the way up. So then now we have 3 angles, and the 4th if we really need to. We have one on a gimbal. We have number 2 tracking down the aisle. We have me tracking as he's coming, and we have just a wide one. So the most critical part is actually when the bride comes in. So when the bride comes in here, the bride's going to come down, and number 1 is just going to track here with a gimbal and just kind of flies and follows all the way up, gets that really nice, beautiful shot, and then stays there for a second to just get a shot there. And number 2 is going to be tracking, and number 3 is going to be tracking at the same time. As soon as the bride comes up and exchanges with the groom, number 2 is going to pull back out. He's no longer going to be on a 24 to 70. There's a tripod already over here with a 70 to 200, and I'm already on a 70 to 200. So at first I was tracking all the way up. Now I was on 70 that whole time. He was on probably 24 to 70, on 70 following everyone up. Number 1 here is just going to face the bride and groom there at the exchange. Now number 2 is just going to focus, you know, on 200 on just the bride reaction, and I will just focus on the groom. So as the bride was coming up, I was focusing on the groom so that I could get the groom reaction here. So that's the most important part. just keeping it at the face to get the emotions part of it. And once this happens, I'm pretty much just gonna try to do 200 most of the time, and I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit to get the efficient, just to get like a wider angle of all three, and then come back into 200 when they're doing their vows. And at the same time, number one is gonna be out here getting like crowd reaction, maybe different angles of this shot coming up and down, while this is getting the guarantee, and the 70-200 is getting the bride reactions. So pretty much the same thing. So now, even if you were to do a multi-cam setup, you're able to sync everything in post, because we were just, as soon as the reception started, we just ran through and just kept the file rolling the whole time, so it's easier to sync in post. And then once they leave, obviously 2 and 3 will just track them, and number 1 just has to make sure that at the kiss they're right here, and then when they're walking out, can track them this way on a gimbal, and so will we. And so that will ensure that we have every single shot there. But that was the setup that we have done, so hopefully that was useful. Yeah. Alright, so we're done with the video. I gotta go pack up. We're gonna leave for Canada tomorrow. And, you know, it was really fun using the ADD again. I just hated that it sat over there. Man, this is so wide. I can't even go all the way over here. Yeah, I just hated for the ADD just to keep sitting there and not to be in use. So, yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is on a daily basis, I'm just gonna vlog with the ADD and then have the Sony here at home. You know, and for travel and for wedding. So just because this is pretty easy to use, it's a really wide angle, it's very user friendly, it's still pretty image stabilized, and it's just a nice setup to use from a daily perspective. But I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog slash wedding video type of thing on our update. But I really enjoyed getting back on ADD and vlogging. But I really appreciate you guys, and I hope that you guys enjoyed that. And for more content, you know, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment, give me some suggestions on what you guys would like to see. I'm going to start continuing doing some tech reviews and some vlogs on where we're going. So see you in Canada tomorrow. We're going to pack up tonight and leave for the airport in the morning. So see you guys then.